All right, welcome to Align Trading, going over today's SPY recap and live analysis before going over what to be watching into tomorrow. So first thing that I explained in the pre-market brief for Discord members was to be watching with this small gap down that we started with today. If we were in this yellow and blue controlled selling right here that you can see, you needed to see us forming this inverse head and shoulder right here and breaking out of that blue, which we were unable to do. And I also explained that you have to be paying attention to this head and shoulder right here. And you can see how we form this inverse cup and handle off of that green algorithm. And we start closing that cup at the 5-day moving average. Now at the 5-day moving average, you can see we're in this orange selling continuation after breaking out of that head and shoulder right here. So now we will go to the 1-minute chart and look at the microstructure and intraday analysis of this move right here. Now in the 1-minute chart, going over the microstructure and algorithms, here in the morning, we had a bit of chop, but as you can see right here, we have this controlled selling with this blue and yellow right here, and there is this inverse head and shoulder if you took this small scalp in the morning. But we were starting to see this tapering algorithm right here, as you can see from this stronger white, and you do not see this blue and yellow continue to form right here, and we start seeing this head and shoulder forming, as well as that inverse cup and handle off of that white algorithm. And from here, we start to see this move to the downside right here with these head and shoulders. Now, as the 5-day moving average is approaching, like I explained on the 30-minute chart, you can see we form the resistance at it with this head and shoulder and start getting that move to the downside. Now, at this level right here, you can see we have all of this liquidity, and we stopped just before that, waiting for another handle right here, which we were never able to form. So after getting that move below the 5-day moving average right here, you can see how we are starting to taper from this yellow selling algorithm right here. We do form this head and shoulder once more within that green and white, like I explained, but we do not see that continuation within this yellow. You can see how at this level, just before that liquidity that we talked about right here, we start tapering within this blue algorithm, and we start to form this inverse head and shoulder right there. You see that cup handle within the blue, and from there we start moving back to the 5-day moving average right here and closing this cup. So as we break out of this tapering right here, we are not fully out of the water, as I explained with this 5-day moving average right here. And you can see how I explained, if you are still looking to short it, wait for us to form a handle off of that 5-day, and we can continue to see this move to the downside. So right here, I'm explaining, if you are looking to short that, be paying attention to this handle forming within this green right here, which we do not form. And you can see how we start forming support on that 5-day and get this move up. So as I'm mentioning with support on that 5-day moving average, you can see right here how I'm explaining you have to be paying attention to this closely right here. And you can see that there are two structures trying to form. We do have this cup and handle, which ends up being the trade that works out, because you can see we do not fully form this inverse cup and handle at this 5-day moving average. We close that inverse cup at the 5-day, but we're unable to form this handle and continue seeing us grab this liquidity, closing that inverse cup back at the low of day, and so on. So with being back above this 5-day moving average, as I'm explaining right here, be paying attention to the liquidity from the way down, as we can grab that on the way up if we are back above that 5-day, which we are. Like I was saying here as well, you cannot short this until that forms, and it did not. But you see with that regular cup and handle, we start getting this move back to the upside, grabbing that liquidity. However, we cannot continue closing this cup right here, and we do start to see that tapering within this same pink algorithm right here. However, it is controlled selling with this blue, and we do just slowly grind higher. So as we continue moving higher, I explained that in the case that we do break out of that tapering, right, start getting more aggressive in filling that cup back to the high of day. Otherwise, pay attention to this tapering and you will not miss this short. Very easy to see it. So you see right here, we do not quite form it. We cannot start heading down, no inverse, regular head and shoulder, but as we continue moving higher, you see how that starts to form. You have that inverse cup and handle, beautiful within that white and pink algorithm. Once again, another head and shoulder, and you get that move to the downside. We don't grab that liquidity and continue moving down. So with this move right here as well, what is right here? Our 5-day moving average, and you can see how we are not breaking down through it. And there is this tapering right here once again, and you see how we start forming that inverse head and shoulder right there, trying to close the cup at this high of day, not high of day, but previous high. And I explained that if we do want to break out of that, pay attention as we can then start moving up. So unable to form that, and we once again form this here, but yet again close this inverse cup at that 5-day moving average. And when it comes time for the handle, we do not see that continuation to give us that move to the downside. And at the end of the day, you can see how we form this inverse head and shoulder once again, and there is a last few minute squeeze. Now it is time to go over what to be watching into tomorrow. So as we can see with this 5-day moving average right here, we are looking for this continuation if we do want to break out of this blue and yellow controlled selling right here like we did previously. You can see within that blue and yellow controlled selling, we bounce off that 5-day moving average and we get this move up. So be paying attention. If that does happen, you'll want to be seeing this purple buying continuation that you can see we had right here. And in that case, we can continue to move up. Watch for this to be forming as we try to fill the cup back at the all-time high right here, grabbing this liquidity. Now, if you are looking to short and we do start heading down, we want to see this 5-day moving average becoming resistance. Now we did build liquidity right here today, so pay attention if that 5-day moving average does become resistance and we start breaking out of this green and this white algorithm right here, continuing to close this inverse cup down here, grabbing this liquidity that we stopped just short of today. And then if we wanted to head down even more, watch for that handle as we do have this liquidity right here that we still have not visited, and a larger inverse cup to this 20-day moving average right here. So with that 20-day moving average and the 5-day, you can see that we may have a possible head and shoulder forming right here. We reach this upper Bollinger, and if this does become resistance, similar to right here, 5-day starts flattening, we start forming that head and shoulder, and we get this move down to 20-day. So pay attention as this 20-day continues to catch up if we do need a retest of that. That is all I have for the video today, so thank you everyone for watching, and I will see members in the morning.